I call myself a money mentor, which basically means I help small business owners to get across their money. And I do that in two ways. One is through I'm a CPA, so I'm actually teaching people about their business finances, how to understand what profit means, what cash flow means. And I also teach about money mindset, which is about how to think differently about money, how to have a positive view on money. And the way that these two kind of marry together in my teachings is that, if you look at your numbers and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a disaster. I'm like, hey, that's okay. We're going to work out a game plan around it. Like, I didn't just want to be the accountant that comes in and says, yeah, well, that's what's going on, because that's not how I myself navigate business. If my numbers aren't telling me what I want to see, I go and make decisions. I be empowered around it. I'm like, right, okay, that didn't work. Let's try that. Or that worked really well. Let's lean in. Let's leverage that. Let's try that again. So that's really what I want to empower my students and my clients to do as well is look at your numbers, but don't freak out about them and really like view things in a lens of I am in control of my life and my business. So what decisions can I make?
Yeah, I love that so much. And it's really interesting that marrying of I think Jenna Kutcher says it really well, the woo and the work, the
I love
mindset and
that. Yeah.
the data. And
Yeah.
because I think it's so important. So talk to me about, because I feel like did mindset teaching come a little bit later for you? You started out more in the nuts and bolts of, data, actionable items in the business, and then mindset came later. Is there a reason you introduced that kind of work when you're working with business owners?
Yeah, I love that. So I am an accountant by trade. I'm very black and white. And to be honest, I still am a really practical coach. Like a lot of my clients are surprised that, we leave calls, I send people action lists. Like I'm not just like, just think positive and business will
Mm,
turn around. I'm like, hey, you've got to take action. And that's
yeah.
actually part of the mindset work. So I'm still a very practical kind of person. I'm still a very practical kind of coach. But something that I learned, I was a couple of years into business, and someone told me about this lady called Denise Duffield Thomas, who's now
I
become a
love
friend of
her.
mine.
Yep.
And I did her course, and suddenly I realized like how negatively I speak about money, how many money traumas I have from my childhood, and how that was affecting me in business and in life because I was so scared of losing money. I was so scared to invest in myself. I didn't want to be a rich person because my parents said to me growing up, rich people are awful, and my dad still calls rich people the elite. Um, the
I'm happy.
elite.
I'm happy to have
Um,
that tag.
um, and so I realized that I had all of these stories that were affecting me
Mm.
as a business owner. And then the more that I learn about mindset and even manifestation, I realized, wow, I actually do manifest things without even realizing. Sometimes bad things, sometimes good
Yes.
things. And so I wanted to start to use these tools in my work and in supporting my clients to create breakthrough success in their business. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Wow, I love that so much. And I think it's amazing that, business evolves, right? Like as we grow, as we learn. I love how you call them tools because it is exactly that. As we learn more tools, we can empower ourselves, change what we decide to do in our business and grow. I think it's exciting that there has been such a huge evolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, it's incredible. So thinking about that, what has worked well for you in 2024 in terms of growing the business?
So I'm going to be completely honest. 2024 hasn't been a big growth year for me. In fact, it's been a really tough year.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of things that I've realized is that what used to work a couple of years ago isn't working now. I'm
Mm.
seeing a lot of people pivoting in ways that don't feel aligned for me. I'm noticing that there's a lot of coaches coaching coaches, and
Yes.
not to discredit that, like, but for me, I'm like, I feel like there's still a thriving market in that space of the market, but that doesn't excite me. Like my passion is really working with creatives, working
Mm.
with digital marketing agencies, really people with kind of that left brain sort of way of thinking because I bring that really practical money side. So I've got a lot clearer about what I don't want to do. I
Mm.
also am not interested in the game of making up sales numbers, which again is something I've seen a lot of people unfortunately doing in the online space. And I'm like, I can see why
Yeah.
there's not a lot of faith in coaches these days. But 2024 has been a good year for me in that like I said, there's really been a big up level around my visibility, around my brand recognition, and really being able to attract in just beautiful, high quality clients into my world. And I think that, I'm really, really grateful for the fact that I do attract like good-hearted, impact-driven humans into my space and my spaces. And I've also just recently returned from a trip to America,
Oh my
and
God, I saw that. That looks so good.
it was so good. I've come back with such a fire in my belly and such excitement about business. And I'm launching something new in 2025, which I'm so, so pumped about. It just feels so aligned. I'm so ready. So yeah, it's been a really good year of learnings, of lessons, and yeah, excited to hit 2025. I feel like it is going to be a breakthrough year for me in terms of my business and in terms of the results that I'll be creating with my clients.
I love that so much. And I love your acknowledgement that perhaps there's some things in the online world that we shouldn't just take at face value. I think that is really, it can be really disheartening for us as business owners. And I love your honesty because it has been a bit of a tough year for a lot of people in business. And I'm not even talking about maybe we had a flat year. There are people I know that have gone out of business this year, really
Yeah.
sadly. And, it's so across the board, I think there's been so many people that have been struggling in a multitude of different ways. And I think that it doesn't matter what level you're struggling on, it still feels like a struggle to you sometimes. So I'd love that you're just being honest about it. I love that you have then said, okay, how can I invest in myself and get inspired and then take that inspiration into 2025?